So as you would have just seen, I finished up the last 4 of the tea owls and printed them out and everything. So let me show you those real quick. This one's actually based off of a, what's it called? Butterfly pea flower tea. It's actually super blue, which is crazy, so I love him. He's adorable. And then we have a hibiscus tea, jasmine tea, which makes me kind of think of like Uncle Iroh from Avatar, The Last Airbender. And so for the like flowers on its little like eyebrows, flowers kind of thing, I made them like a little bit longer to kind of like harken to like a jasmine dragon kind of thing, because that's the name of his tea shop in the show, because I'm a nerd. And then a little ginger tea. And I also, I didn't show myself cutting this out because I just fixed it recently. I changed the bubble tea. So this one's the older version, right? And I just, like the outline of his face was just way too dark. So I softened it up, made him like a little bit puffier. So I'm happy with that change. Yeah. Alright, I apologize in advance if you hear anything in like the background. My family's already home and they're watching TV downstairs, so hopefully it doesn't pick up, but if it does, that's what it is. So today is actually already late in the day on Friday. I don't know where this week has gone, but I just got sticker paper in the mail from Sheetlabels. Yeah, from Sheetlabels. I just got 3 different samples from them just to try out different ones, because I'm really not happy with the sticker paper that I had before. So I'll show you what it was. It was this. I don't even know how I'm gonna say that. I'm not even gonna try. But every time I would like take a sheet out, it would just instantly curl. I had to tweak a lot of the printer settings, which was just a hassle, and it still doesn't come out super nice. And then I've had a few of them on my iPad for a little bit, and they've already started chipping and stuff. So that's just not ideal. So I am going to hopefully like one of these. So we're gonna be printing on these, like my little tea owls, to test out the new paper. And I also have been researching how to like trick your Cricut so that you don't have to use registration marks. So these are like old cutouts that I saved, because look at how much you waste with the Cricut like printing cut. You waste so much sticker paper. So I found online so many people have posted tutorials on how to trick your Cricut so that you don't have to do the print and cut, and you can use just your entire sheet of sticker paper. So I've already tested it out with my old sticker paper and it worked super well. So pretty much I'll try to explain it as best as I can, but this is by no means a tutorial because I'm not an expert in this at all yet. But this is what my mat looks like, and I'll explain how I got to this part as we work on the new paper. All right, I know I should totally use just a screen recording device, but this is what we're doing right now. So to just make the guide on the actual Cricut mat, like I showed you earlier, what you're gonna do is just make a square like I have already. And then you're gonna use the little unlock tool and just size it to 8.5 by 11, which is what I have right here. And then I just positioned it to the 0, 0, just to make sure that it's positioned perfectly on the mat. I think the Cricut Design Space does that automatically, but just make sure. And it's just going to be a cut square. It's technically a rectangle. But then you just press make it, and this is what I use to know where to put the tape on my mat, because it'll show you, it typically cuts in right there about 1/4 of an inch. So this just can show you where to put your tape. Make sure that you put your tape completely over it where it's going to cut, because then the Cricut machine is going to cut out this entire rectangle so that any tape that's inside that has been cut out you can just pull off, and then you'll be left with the guide like I have on here. Hello. So that's what I did there. I used 2 layers of masking tape just to make sure that it's got enough of like a thickness to it so that it's easy to stick the sticker paper to. But all you do then is just have your tape stuck onto the mat and then just press continue. I think I just had it, yeah, make sure that it connects to your Cricut machine. I know my Cricut machine came with this number, just 666E, like how horrible is that for the Bluetooth, but yeah. Well, either way, once it connects, there it is. All right, I just used printable sticker paper to cut through it. It cut through it perfectly fine, no problem. You just choose it, make sure that you have your knife blade in, and then load your mat. It'll cut through, and then you just pull off the inside where it like cut. For most of the tutorials that I've seen online, they always use a always, I can't say really always, but the ones that I've seen have always used Photoshop, and I don't have Photoshop, so I just used Procreate to organize my file. So the biggest thing with making this cheat work, this like hack work, is you have to make little boxes in the corner. I'm going to turn on the background color so you can see them. I made them black, you can make them white, doesn't really matter, your printer typically won't cut it out anyways. And for Procreate, it's nice. In this little canvas area, you can turn on a drawing guide, and you see these little guide marks. For mine, I made them, you can change the grid size and everything, and I made them to be 1/4 inch, so 0.25 inches. And then I just made a little selection and filled that rectangular selection in with black. And then for all the tutorials that I've seen also, they've put one in every single corner, but you really only need one in one corner and then in the diagonal corner, because it's just creating like, it's just telling how big that file is. It's just making sure that the file is 8.5 by 11. Oh, and I forgot to mention that. When you're making your file in Procreate, make sure that your actual page size is 8.5 by 11 and 300 dpi so you can get the best print quality. So once you have that, you just like import your stickers, organize them on the sheet. Another important thing, let me turn this drawing guide back on, is that for your stickers, I'm going to turn off the background, make sure that they are within that like 0.25 margin, because your printer can't typically print. I mean, some printers can do completely borderless printing, but I know for mine, it's like the smallest margin that it can do is 1/4 inch. So just make sure that all of your stickers are within that size, within those margins. And then when you save it off, make sure that you save it so that those little black corners are still there. You can put them in all 4 if you really, really want to. You really only need the diagonal corners. And then make sure that your background is off, because you want a transparent background so that when you send this file to your Cricut, it'll know where to cut around. So when you save it, share it as a PNG. Make sure that it's a PNG because that allows for the transparent background. Save it to wherever you want, and we can move back to the computer. So for this, once you have your PNG uploaded, just go to print it. And your printer settings are going to be different than mine. I have a Canon Pro 100 series, and I'm going to need to tweak the sticker paper preset that I have, because the new papers that I'm going to be testing, one of them is matte, one of them is glossy. I think the last one is matte as well. It's more of an actual paper versus like a vinyl. So I'm going to be changing those presets, but the most important thing to make sure this like hack works is that when you print it, make sure that the scale is 100%. So it'll hide those little like black square corners, but that's perfectly fine. The biggest thing is that you need to make sure that it's 100%. So that the scale of the image matches the scale that you're going to be uploading to the Cricut to make sure that it cuts out correctly. So that's the biggest thing, make sure it's scaled to 100% and then print it out. I just wanted to quickly show you guys which 3 sticker papers I'm going to be trying out today. They're all from Sheetlabels, just as a reminder. So first we have their, if we can have it focus, yeah. So it's inkjet weatherproof. It's a matte paper, really soft, like silky and buttery to the touch. So that's really nice. We shall see if it's actually weatherproof, because I do want to put at least this one underwater to see if it will work, and probably the glossy one, the last one I won't. So as I said, the next one is a glossy one, super shiny. It is their white gloss inkjet. So I have an inkjet printer. I have the Canon Pixma Pro 100. So all of these are for inkjet printers. They also offer paper for laser printers as well. Yeah, so that is the glossy. What's nice is that with this new Cricut hack, the Cricut doesn't have to read any registration marks, and I know that people have often had trouble with glossy paper. Their Cricut won't read the registration marks because the light just shines back and it can't read the black line. So that's the nice thing about that little hack, is that that shouldn't be a problem because there are no registration marks to read. And then the last one that I got is this one. Ooh, if we can focus. Yeah, so it's the Spectacle inkjet. It's more of, it's really hard to video, like record paper because it just looks like a white sheet, obviously, but it's more just a papery kind of sticker. I am tempted to also make sticker sheets, so if I do end up liking this, I feel like I would choose this kind of paper for sticker sheets, or maybe the matte paper. I wouldn't do a glossy sticker sheet. I think that would be a little bit strange, because if you're doing like planner stickers or just like those kind of smaller stickers, they're not typically glossy if you think about them, if you buy them from the store. So probably this one or the weatherproof matte. But those are the stickers. I'm actually really excited about the glossy. At first I was like really not interested in gloss, which is why that other sticker paper that I got was a matte paper, but I've since thought, like, yeah, some stickers do typically come on glossy paper and they look really nice quality, so we'll see how all of these print out. Okay, so I just got finished printing them out, the stickers out on all 3 different types of paper, and I've already got something to say. So this is the Spectacle White. I really hope it picks up, especially on this red. Yeah, look at this, look at the little hibiscus tea. It makes a little speckled quality. It's super strange. So I don't really know what this paper is doing, but it is not looking so hot. So right now it is very much not a contender. What's interesting is that the matte paper, I used all the basic print settings for now, just based upon like what kind of paper it is. I didn't tweak like intensity, saturation, or any of the colors, so I might do that in the future. I feel like it's slightly easy to see on this little green tea guy. Hopefully, since it's evening, the colors don't blow out too badly. But if you compare it with my print, which is pretty much perfect, I'd say that's a really good color match. I might, yeah, really, even on camera it looks good. I might up the saturation just a tinge. Yeah, just a tinge on the saturation. But those look really good. The opposite is happening on the glossy paper, the white gloss. So if you look at this little guy, oh, of course it's shiny, so it's gonna have trouble. Let's bring this guy in too. Okay. Oh, the glossy, it's super shiny. But this, the glossy paper, right, is just super dark. So I would probably, it's just oversaturated, like it's getting just almost too much ink on there and getting too dark. So I will probably bump the saturation down, or maybe the intensity. I have to look at the settings to see which one I can change, but it's just a little bit too dark on them, but at the same time they do look nice. But this little black tea, you kind of lose his details a little bit. since he's so dark, but on the matte paper, he looks better. You can see his details and everything. So yeah, just those two in comparison, the white gloss versus the matte, you can pretty much easily tell. I should probably have these on the table, but you can pretty much easily tell that the like white gloss is definitely a lot darker than the matte. So far, just with basic settings, I do like the look of the matte, but the print quality themselves looks amazing. And I still really like this glossy paper. I think it would make really nice die cuts. So next step is to cut them out. So once you're in your Cricut design space, open up a new canvas, go to upload image, browse, find wherever you saved your image to, and then just press open. I like to choose complex to make sure that all of the cut lines look good and aren't fuzzy or anything. Press continue. You shouldn't have to select or erase anything, it should be all fine. And here's the biggest thing, you don't need to save it as a print and cut because you've already printed it out. So you just need to save it as a cut image. Press save, and then you're just gonna upload it. Don't need two of them. And then it's gonna pull it in very big, right? So just go up to this little size guide and change it to 8.5 for the width, and it should automatically scale to 11 for the height, so you should be perfectly fine there. I like to put it right in the corner just to make sure. Honestly, Cricut should do it by itself, but just to be safe. And you can even check now that that little corner up there, that's at the 1/4 inch mark on the Cricut. So that's really good too. It's like you're double checking. And that this little corner and the little corner down here is what actually gives you the size, because your stickers don't reach the 8.5 size. So if you didn't have them, you wouldn't be able to scale it correctly. So that's what those little guys are for, if you're at all questioning those. So they are necessary. I don't think you can really do it differently, but that's why they're there. So then you just go to make it. It should look similar to where it's placed on the paper as your little 8.5 by 11 template you used when to like cut out the tape. So then you just press continue. Good, okay, so it's connected. Sorry about that. So I'm just gonna probably stick with the printable sticker paper. It's just the same, and it's also gonna be trial and error. I will see, and I will tell you if I change it depending on which papers. And then you're just going to be loading in your material as usual, and you should be good to go. I just wanted to show you how it works to attach the paper. So pretty much it's really simple. You just kind of line it up. Hopefully you can see well enough because I need an overhead mounting system. But that is pretty much the trick. That's all you have to do. You just have to put it within that tape guideline and then pop it into your Cricut. So yeah. So like I said earlier, you can see how it can jiggle back and forth kinda. So I just like to push it completely to the left, and then you just lightly hold it there and then press the little load button. And then the cut button. Good. Looks like it came out well for the gloss too. Let's just hope that it fully cuts through this, because I did put it on the more pressure, so. Yes, much better, no problems. So, those came off perfectly. So yeah, definitely gonna use the light cardstock, more pressure setting for the Cricut. I guess just for testing matters, I will cut out the spectacle white. even though I really don't like how it printed out. No, I don't feel like cutting it out. There's like no reason to. But look at how little waste. That's so cool. So let me grab you guys and I'll show you up close how they look. Okay, so right here first we have the old sticker paper that I used. Again, I have no idea how to pronounce that. Joyeza? Sure. I did have to tweak the printer settings a lot because it was a super tricky paper to use, but they look nice. It's just that they do scratch up and chip. So that's the next thing to test for these other two. This is the inkjet weatherproof. It's the matte one, so it's got a really smooth texture to it. Okay, well fine then. We just don't want to focus far close up. But it's not glossy or anything, just completely matte, but it is a really nice smooth kind of feeling to it. And then we have the white gloss inkjet from Sheetlabels. Sorry, I just sniffled. So as you can see, it is super glossy, but it looks really nice for die cut stickers, honestly. So I'm hoping that these hold up to like water and stuff. That's what we're gonna test next, I think. I'm gonna stick them on this old like candle jar and see how they stick, see how if they remove well, and then run them underwater. So first the inkjet. Sorry I like completely dropped off the spectacle white. It's just like, I'll have to play around with the print settings more maybe on the other two sheets that I have of it, but we'll see. Why am I doing the green tea? The green tea is like my favorite one. Would want to save that, but whatever. Guess not. Okay, and then the white gloss. Now this one does claim to be weatherproof, so it's a little bit more resistant, but the white gloss doesn't claim that at all. It's just a glossy photo paper, so if the colors run, I'm really not going to be shocked. It also hasn't been like very long for it to dry, maybe like 30 minutes max or something. Max. But they stick really nicely, so far so good. Let's go run it underwater. I'll be back. Oh my goodness. Okay, what a turn of events. So this was the inkjet weatherproof. After like a few seconds under the water, it has completely changed color. Yeah, but it's still sticking on there. The white gloss seems to be pretty okay. The color has changed, but look, it's not sticking anymore. The water completely went underneath and it's just slipping and sliding. So it's just like regular paper. I mean, are we even shocked? So yeah, don't put either of these underwater. They will not hold up. I'm tempted to wait for these ones, for the inkjet weatherproof, maybe to let them dry a little bit, like wait a day or two and then retest if it's gonna mess up like that again, and or if the ink just needs to dry and it's just too wet still. But that's a turn. If I do end up using either of these, I will by no means claim that they are waterproof, because they're not. They're not. Alrighty. Not gonna lie, after that water test I felt slightly deflated. Yeah, I'm still not sure if I want, like, if I feel like these are good enough to sell stickers with. They're beautiful print quality, like both the like gloss and the matte. Oh, come on. Look super nice. Like the print quality is wonderful. And I actually tried it. Ooh. I tried it on the glass, and the matte ones you can like move, you can remove and like plop back on. They stay sticky even after it was put underwater. So that's a really nice thing. So if I did sell with either of these, it would probably be with the matte one. I did just order samples from online labels because these were from sheetlabels. So I just ordered from online labels. I would have done it sooner, but when I checked their sample request site page, they weren't offering samples for some reason, but I just checked right now. So, and they are offering samples now. So I got a weatherproof matte, a weatherproof gloss, 100% recycled paper, which I believe sheetlabels does have as well, but I didn't order it because they limited you to 3 types, and I really wanted to try that spectacle white, which ended up being not good for me. And then I ordered a brown craft paper because I think that like making little labels on that would be really cute. So hopefully those will come next week, and then I can show them in next week's vlog. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now. I haven't tweaked the gloss colors yet or anything. I will a little bit later. I wanted to take like a little break, and I had this is gonna be really random. I play Animal Crossing New Horizon, and when I logged in this morning, I had a camper in my campsite, and it was Marshall. I don't know if you know Marshall. He's like this adorable little squirrel. I don't know. There he is. And finally, I got him to offer to like replace Sly. I have been trying to get rid of Sly forever, so this is a little highlight. I'm super happy because Marshall is adorable, and I've been stuck with Sly forever, so yay.